This is an ABC podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nuclear enthusiasts and stress mold removalists planning for a sea change to tea gardens. Our great code stands on the precipice of international sporting greatness. So, with soul in the shorts, feeling in the feet, and joy in the jumper, it's time to bump, it's time to thump, it's time to sink the slipper. Let's cross to the crow's nest of the good ship Rugby League. It's another blast of bludging on the Blindside with the master of midfield mayhem, rampaging Roy Slaven, and the man with his good eye to the telescope, H.G. Nielsen.
Yes, TF Much Cedric has been sub a.k.a. The Drain, commonly known as the Sumpster, torching the Blindside blue paper for another week. It's that very familiar sound at this time of the day of the Sumpster camped in the ABC Smart soundproof booth on ABC local radio. And notice that we're building a network here now. The ABC Smart logo goes round the world now. The peace talks in Alaska had to pause while they took on some ideas of ABC Spot. And, of course, ABC Local Radio covers the rest of the world. Now, hello, Australia. H.G. Nielsen lifting the lid on another magnificent week of NRL magic. What a week. What an incredible week. And I don't get to say that really that often these days, but it was, I usually say it just once a week. It was an incredible week, a week when too much sport is barely enough. And, again, another Super Saturday here at ABC Smart. Aussies again, well, it can only be summed up by the phrase, fully sick Saturday of sport. Now, the Bludge, followed by the Sledge, and Declan Byrne, the normal presenter of the Sledge, has got a day off, and Zane Bojack coming in. Look, Zane's a very safe pair of hands. If you've enjoyed Declan's work over the years, then Zane won't let you down. He's a go-to person if, for Sledge people, if Declan isn't in the house. And then we go to the Sump, and right after, and that kicks off after the Sledge, the Slump. But it's very sad news and a very big shout out on behalf of all bludgers to Andrew Moore, who is in trouble with heart health, but we hope to have him back doing what he does best, that is calling the rugby league as soon as possible. Without Andrew, the Slump will be in the very safe hands of the Dipsy Doodle round the back door brigade, many of whom can step up into the top chair. And I know I can speak on behalf of all Blindsiders and Roy when we wish Andrew all the very, very best. Now, Bludgers, round 23, and another great round of NRL bombshells, blueprints, boilovers and bin liners. A quick whiz round the grounds on the whiz. Well, look, it was a weekend. I saw it in my other media commitments. I described it as a weekend of rugby league full moon madness. That was the only way to describe it, because the Storm got us underway with an injury special that saw, wait for it, 3 Broncos waddling off with busted hammies from the same play the ball. Now, that does not happen every day in rugby league. You know, I know parents think, well, my kid's going to play rugby league. I know straight away he's going to do a hammy. I can feel it. I know. That's bullshit. They don't often happen. That doesn't often happen. And that was just because the full moon was there and the hammy was in the full moon's eye, so to speak. Now, then, but the good news from the medical unit at the stables is Coach Reynolds could be back for a finals hit-out with, should the galloping hooves make it. I know a lot of things have to fall into place to get the hooves there, but yee-haw, it's all I can say. Elsewhere, always good to see the most hated struggle, and at GIO, the Raiders ran riot, running in 28 to the Shot Ducks 12. Off to Stadium Australia, and the Car Honkers returned to form in the torrential conditions. People said they couldn't play in the rain. They can. They love playing in the rain. It was an incredible downpour. I think the officials were thinking of calling the show off for a while until the rain ceased, but they kept on going, and the Honkers didn't let them down. And of course, they got there over the team from the Long White Cloud. Tune it on the Hammond B3. Thanks, Maestro. Dishlickers 32, Wawani 12. Now, and those funny dragons, gee, they're a heartbreak to follow the Dragons. But anyway, dented the hopes of the Sharks at Jubilee. And that was the upside. Now give that mouth organ another squirt, Wally. Dragons 22, Sharks 14. Spoon Bowl 2025. What a great occasion. The coach at Myrtle cleaning up the Haslerites 20-18. Coaches, I believe, really put in to make it a really good spoon bowl in 2025, and they didn't let the public down. In bowl fallout, Lewis Dodd was declared a dud. Hard to say quickly at this time of the day. Lewis Dodd was declared a dud. The controversial signing was described post-Hooter by none other than the big A, that is Braithen Astor, on NRL 360 as one of the greatest blunders in NRL history. Now, there's a talking point. There's a talking point. Let me give you a couple. Nate Miles in the corridor of any hotel after hours. The indoor fireworks display that opened the Maroon season years ago. You go back to the trips to Burning Palms. They're always tragedies. Anyway, it's a great talking point. The biggest blunder in NRL history. In the build-up to Spoon Bowl, Supercoach Wayne took the whole team to that great Italian restaurant, Grappa. Super B was very familiar. Those who are familiar with the Grappa will know that Super B very familiar with the joint. He had a regular table there during COVID and often wolfed down zucchini flowers, followed by tagliolini stuffed with crab meat. Not sure about the last dish, but certainly zucchini flowers and crab meat, count me in. A magnificent, ideal preparation for a bowl. At Combank Sunday afternoon, the Slippery Ones had a 1-point win over the Cows, a match that ended in controversy again. I mean, every week in, week out, I'm always talking about controversies that shouldn't be happening. Week in, week out with another outbreak of trainer gate at the Death. After that eruption, should the code, and I hesitate to say this and I find myself thinking I should be washing my mouth out with soap and water when I say this, should the code move to an NFL or NBA style timeout system to prevent contributions from extra players who are not ticketed to get involved? So as you can see what happened, obviously, let's say Coach Sticky thinks the Raiders aren't going that well. Tweet, timeout, gets the team together. Now, come on, you bludgers, put in that sort of thing. Off we go. Rather than having all these people running all over willy-nilly. And I go to the rugby league a lot and I've never observed this. There are 3 people, apart from the players, allowed to run about on the field. Fact. It's insanity. Of course it's going to cause problems. We'll unpack that later in the show. Now, then off to Suncorp to clock the fouls and the entertainment specialists of the Dolphins. God, they're entertaining, the Dolphins. Tune on the Hammond again, if you don't mind, Tommy. Fouls, 64. They've hit a real form of, streak of form. And the poor old entertainers, 12. The poultry and motion star was Sam Walker, who had a day out with the boot, slotting 10 on the trot, but missed the 11th by hitting the upright. I mean, go figure how unlucky was the kid. The Arthur Beetson Cup was up for grabs, which was obviously the Pullets pulled that in, and Teddy T bagged the AB medal. I'm not talking about the Alan Border medal. No, he doesn't play. He plays the wrong sport. But Arthur Beetson medal was up for grabs. The match had a bit of everything, with 4 in the bin and thousands in fines, 80 minutes that had the real waft of tomorrow about it. A real... it's everything's turning back in time. You don't have to look at Russia or America. They're turning things back in time. And the Poultry in Motion certainly did that the other day. The on-field action reminded many season league lovers of the games turned on every week when wing walkers, rodeo clowns and hedge fund carpet players used to play the game. But look, it was a bad week for NRL venues. The Swamp, aka Allianz, is in trouble again. It's a $1 billion catastrophe. I mean, that's a fact. People won't go there. Players have been drowned in it. I mean, I think they had to send out the surf lifesaving people to pull a couple of players in last night. The playing surface is unusable, and there are 5 matches on the shifting sand of this venue this weekend. The Bludge, along with many other now coming on board with this idea, believes the stadium on top of Kibaks Lake is the answer, because at least there's water there, so you're going to deal with that to begin with, unlike these other sites they build pretending there's never going to be water there. And in the Shire, the death trap and mould nightmare that is the Shark Park has everyone scratching their heads, everyone being Abdo and Feathers. But you cannot ask the big two, that is those two, Abdo and Feathers, to do the ground staff work as well as looking after catering, referees, the bunker concussion and developing that horror show that's Vegas. It's just too much. Incidentally, are the Rabbits for sale? What is going on at the hutch? Someone is now, I understand, prepared to step up and open the wallet if Russell wants to move on. In the league, you have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. True then, true now. Speaking of the Rabbits, could the great Ray Rabbits Warren return for a hit-out at the finals in 2025? Apparently, I understand, I'm not across this story completely, but Rabs is prepared to do it if he can call it from home. Call it from home. What's wrong with behind the card table, like Frank Hyde did all those years ago? It's a tantalising snippet to have the ball popped up out of the ground like molten lava man back in harness with the season's climax looming. AFL and the final 8 calculations were thrown into turmoil with last week's results. As I understand it, there are 9 teams in line to get into the 8, and the results this weekend will have a big say in that. But they weren't any clearer after last weekend's results. In better news for the code, the dog, that is in Snoop Dogg, is in line for. He's coming. Let's just put that out there. He's coming. No news yet on travelling companions, as in. Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, whether they're coming with the cloud of smoke. But the man will bring his act and his smoking jacket that thrilled the Paris Olympics and the Super Bowl. Plus, he's offered to include several Australian classics. I can't wait till he does the real thing. That'll be a real treat. And of course, I know it's not an Australian classic, but it might as well be. Sweet Caroline. Good times never felt so good. To see the dog do that will be just a treat. That let's face it, you could die happy after seeing that. And I think he's going to have a go at Friday on My Mind as well. And I'd love to see him have a go at I've Been Everywhere. And sure, these are dreams. Obviously, he may not do any of those, but it'd be just fantastic to see if he could do one of them. Elsewhere, the glacier that is AFL state of origin shifted slightly this week. A date in February has been suggested for an origin tug-of-war between Victoria and WA. At least I think that's the plan. Not sure of the details, but February the 14th, 2026 at Optus in Perth is something to aim at. And I understand the temperature will be roughly 51.6 degrees, and that'll add an extra dimension to the event. Certainly won't worry the crowd, but playing in that context. I think once we saw cricket attempted to be played in those temperatures, and many people ended up in hospital. And now stand back and let the dog see the lure, and welcome to ABC Sport and ABC Local Radio, the chic of Cox's Creek, the wellness influencer of 2025 with a special interest in statins, gut health, inflammation and skin. Now, before letting the doctor loose with the patient, a heads up. The long-awaited biography of the legendary Lithgow runner, Reg Duffy, will be released this November. The bio, titled I Ran the Shamrocks, is written by Walkley winner Fractious Bruce Woodis, who knew Duffy very well. It's a tribute to the man who changed rugby league forever with his courageous interference and message relaying techniques. All the big names of that golden era of Golden West football rugby league have their say. Granell, Sump, Benson, Rubble, Slavin, Weed, Woodis, Snood, Lahoud, Rooting King, Bludging, Slug and Staines. Plus there's a great forward from Central West Hall of Fame referee Cyril Wingy Nottle, the forgotten man out there. But the bio will be published by Zigzag Books, and it's been described by none other than NRL Pathway Supremo Brad Fittler as the greatest contribution to rugby league history since the Gould Report into St George. Now, Zigzag Books CEO has knowledge of many issues affecting rugby league, but is not authorised to speak publicly about current schmozzles. He contributes today on the condition of anonymity. This bloke never gets tippy. It's all fact, no gabba, no gibber. Rampaging Roy Slavin. Happy Rugby League. Can I get the bludging bloody in motion by asking what highlights caught your side this week? Quantum computing, AI, encrypted, deep seek, Sibaraka.
Yes, thank you very, very much, H.G. Nelson. Of course, happy Rugby League, H.G. to you and your family. And happy Rugby League to all fair-minded, family-oriented, decent, clean-living Aussies who won't tolerate being lied to by club CEOs whose single focus is lining their own pockets.
Whoa.
While they laugh at family-oriented Aussies calling them losers. Okay, more to come. Aussie Jason Day is the last Aussie standing in the PGA Tour playoffs. The only Aussie in the world's top 50. I mean, how did this
amazing?
Yeah, how did this happen?
And they're calling it a golden era coming up this summer?
Yeah. That's just rubbish. It's not good enough. I don't know what's happening with Australian golf. I know we have some marvellous golf high schools, especially in southeast Queensland, but I don't know. There's no one doing the heavy lifting with golf at the moment in Australia. There needs to be a probe. I've approached Ian Baker-Finch, the Dark Shark, and he's expressed interest. More to come. Now, Sport Australia.
Oh, yeah.
They induct Little Leighton Hewitt, Cameron Rugby League commentator Smith, Laura Geets, Mark Schwarzer and Jason Dunstall into the Hall of Fame. Welcome all. These are, without doubt, unquestionably outstanding Aussies. And how proud must their families feel today? It's a wonderful, wonderful outcome for these families, for the Dunstall family, the Geets family, Smith family, Dunstall, Hewitt, etc. Wonderful, wonderful Australians. And we can celebrate their achievements now in the Hall of Fame.
They'll be there every Tuesday afternoon, apparently.
That's my understanding. It's a
2 to 5.
wonderful thing for these outstanding Australians.
What are they?
Outstanding Australians. Marvellous. Speaking of outstanding Australians, which we were, marvellous Aussie, that's marvellous Meg Lanning, is the top run scorer, of course, in the London Women's 100, which is really going off. So I congratulated Meg. It's wonderful to see her back. What wonderful technique she has. I think Warner might have made a good score too in the 100. I know he started off in pretty poor form, but I think he might have hit a bit of form, which is probably about time. Now, Tasmanian news.
Yes, this is very good news.
Now, acting Premier Rockcliffe announces dog racing will be phased out. Yes, that's right, phased out. By June 2029. Well, it doesn't give the industry...
How does it phase it out?
I don't know.
Should it stop or...?
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be phased out. What does that mean?
Less races on the card?
Fewer races, I guess. I don't know. But it doesn't give the industry terribly long to prepare. And remember, when I say industry, these are usually families. Aussie families.
Busted arse Aussie families.
Often is
I'm
the
not being
case.
unkind.
No, you're not being unkind at all. You're being accurate. You're speaking like a journalist. Absolutely accurate. These are families who just have 1 or 2 dogs. They might have come across a litter somewhere and noticed that one of them's a little bit quick and put it in a race and it's won. It's brought great joy to the family as well as a bit of remuneration. A lot of people rely on the dogs, you know. These people in their ivory towers who look down on dog racing, they should be ashamed of themselves. And
the dog often keeps the wolf from the door, doesn't it?
It does.
Right across the trailer.
It does. And I've made our thoughts known to Premier Rockcliffe. I should say acting Premier Rockcliffe. In other, I think, interesting Tasmanian news, Erica Betts is named the minister responsible for Macquarie Point.
What?
Yes, Erica Betts, the minister responsible for Macquarie Point. If anyone can get this up, it'll be Erica Betts.
True. He can punch things through, can't
He's
he?
a very no-nonsense sort of politician. Now, that is assuming, of course, that the upcoming vote of no confidence should fail. I think when the Tasmanian Parliament next sits, the Labor opposition will again be proposing a no confidence motion. If the no confidence motion is successful, I think the Labor Party will then be asked to form a government if they can.
Is that how it works?
If they can, yes, they'd have to get the Greens on side, but the Greens aren't talking to Labor, and they'd have to get the Independents on side. And I don't know what the Independents feel about the Labor Party.
Can I say one thing I'd do if I was the leader of the Labor people? Approach Erica Betts to stay on at Victoria Point.
Oh, I think if anyone can reach across the house, across the aisle, he's very much across the aisle there. That's what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
If anyone can reach across the aisle, it's going to be Erica Betts.
Yeah.
If anyone can get Macquarie Point happening against all the opposition in the world, it's going to be Erica Betts. Now, in very good news, and it's not often we start with good news. I mean, we try to, but it's not often possible. The pig races are on at Robertson. This is in the Southern Highlands. They're beginning at 12 o'clock today.
Wow.
So if anyone's interested in watching pigs racing, and who isn't, I'd get along there. I don't know where you'd go, but look, if you
there'll be signs up.
There would be. Just go to the
big potato.
The big potato.
There'll be signs from there.
There'll be signs from there directing you where to go.
Any idea of the card? Like
no
10
idea.
races?
No idea.
Is there any suggestion that pig racing could take over from dog racing in Tasmania?
There is that sort of talk, yes. I've heard that.
Erica Betts on board?
I don't know if Eric is, but I know he's prepared to reach across the aisle. Wonderful week, of course, for the greatest game of all, that funny old game we call rugby league. Now, just a question. Is Spencer Leniu the new Jared Warrior-Hargreaves?
Oh, what a great talking point.
Well, he could be, you know. There are very, very good signs. I noticed in reportage of his work this week in various newspaper columns, HG, he was referred to firstly as a firebrand, which I like. And there was another reference to him as a stormy petrel. Now, I like this talk. I can't recall how long it's been since we've had a genuine stormy petrel.
No, that's a long time ago.
A hell of a long time ago. I mean, we all know stormy petrels when we see them. They have a very short fuse, hair trigger, and they're perhaps
shaping up.
a little bit mad.
A little bit mad.
Just a little bit mad. For example, it comes to mind, Liam Martin, I think, is a stormy.
Liam Martin, yes,
He's
definitely.
a stormy petrel.
You see him itching to get on on the sidelines, and he just wants to get out there and hit something.
Get something. Yeah, that's right.
Someone down and really massage their face and then turn them over, push their face into the ground and then boot them up the date.
That's right.
That's a stormy petrel.
That's a stormy petrel. Well, a stormy petrel, I think, too, will give a disproportionate response to a slight.
Correct. Perfectly put.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
what we expect from our petrels. And Liam Martin is certainly capable of that. And certainly Spencer Leniu is capable of that.
Yeah, it is.
Very disproportionate response to just the
slightest
slight. I
so
know.
He scratches their ear.
Yeah,
Whack.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's pure petrol. Now, the storm win was marred the other night by Harry Grant blatantly taking a dive. Look, we've seen dives in the World Game, and we don't like it.
No.
Aussies don't react to it.
But the NRL's come out and said it's okay.
Yeah, I know they have.
Is that what they want?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I know the public doesn't want it, but it's a bit like Macquarie Point, isn't it? A bit like Macquarie Point.
Hands across the aisle.
Hands across the aisle. Thank you very much, Erica Betts. We need someone like Erica Betts to stand up, for those who are happy to see blatant dive taking in rugby league. Now, if that is the day, then that's it. That's it. I walk away from rugby league.
Did you sense the hand of Cam Smith, not the...
yes, not the golfer.
Not the golfer,
you
but
mean
the commentator.
The Hall of Fame man.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame man.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of Cam Smith in that.
Of course there was. It was pure Smith. Pure Bellamy, wasn't it?
It
all
totally
goes back to Bellamy.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who can exploit the rules, he'll do it. That's Bellamy.
Exploiting the rules, that's the thing, isn't it?
Exploiting the rules, yes, which is not, I don't think, in the best interests of rugby league.
But you see, don't get me started.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, make of that what you will.
Footy heads, it's all happening this week at Rugby League World. There is a scrum feeding masterclass taken by Harry Grant, and improve your spatial awareness with a 4-day intensive with Bulldog niggle merchant Reed Marnie. Courses are suitable for all ages and endorsed by Bludgers on the Blindside.
Now, firstly, I should come to, if you want to get involved, and you've probably got a contribution to make, 0467 920 222, 0467 920 222, or the old style way, royanhg at abc.net.au, royanhg at abc.net.au. Now, coming to the road to glory, well, already this weekend, the Panthers and Storms, what a magnificent game that was, obviously marred by this obstruction issue, which the NRL signed off on and said it's great. Then we had the Warriors and Dragons. Now, I think in this match, 3 players were KO'd. There was a clash of heads that knocked out 2 in a row. You don't often see that.
You don't often see them, no.
And so that was very worrying for the Dragons, and those players won't be available next week.
Is that right? Oh, because of
concussion and so on.
Yeah, fair enough. But St George have been actually playing pretty well.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the 3... They were obviously down players by the end, and they only lost by a bit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Roosters clobbered the Bulldogs.
Yes, the Roosters have hit rare form.
They have.
Beasts. Yeah.
And you've got a theory that they play with a bigger pack.
Yes. They start the matches with at least 3 front row forwards, very big men, as a means of blunting the fitness
opposition.
and the style of play that the opponents want to play. When it comes to using your smaller, more mobile forwards, which Canterbury has done, They found it difficult
to hold possession.
Yeah, and
position
hold back the bigger men for the first 10, 15 minutes, and then you roll out your more mobile forwards. It's been a very successful tactic for Easts.
Now, then we come to the matches today, of course, all covered by the ABC Radio Spot crew, the Dipsy Doodlers. Remember, of course, Andrew Moore won't be there because he's on the sick list.
Yep.
But hopefully he's having his feet up and enjoying a nice cup
he'll
of
be
tea.
back soon.
Yeah, he'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Sharks and Titans. That gets underway at 3. Then we got Broncos and Dolphins.
Ooh, that'll be
the entertainers versus Coach Reynolds.
The coachless.
Yeah, well, the coach he'll be on the sideline.
He will.
Coach
No, but he's not the same. It's not the same.
No, true.
Yeah.
True.
Reynolds likes to coach out in the middle.
Yeah, he likes a playing coach role.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got Hunt there to do his role, so they're not completely out of it yet. But
True.
The Broncos and the Dolphins will be a great game. Then the match of the round really is the Rabbits and the Eels. That's tonight at 7:30.
Yeah.
West Tigers and Sea Eagles tomorrow.
Yes.
They become more closely aligned in the chart.
Yep.
So that could be an interesting game. And Cowboys and Knights. Well, now we're talking down the bottom. Now, one thing I was going to say, speaking of matches coming up, of course, the Fruit and Nut Men, they're in action in Ellis Park tomorrow.
Yes,
I think
very high altitude.
High altitude problem.
Yeah.
I don't think Australian teams have won there since 1963, and then it was a fluke. It was a rare low-pressure system over it, and so they were playing on more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how the altitude affects. I think they only play rugby union there, so it's a bit hard to tell if many players have experience of playing at that high.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you need to have a respiratory system, a bit like a Sherpa, to play in those conditions, don't you?
You do.
So I don't know why they haven't been training in altitude. I don't think they have, and that's a real mistake. You've got to train at altitude.
And the other thing is some people can take altitude better than others.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Can function well at altitude.
Well, that's right.
I know I can't at all.
Well, that's true. It's felt, HG, that, that if you have a bit of denisovan in your DNA, then you are more suited to altitude work than if you don't.
Whoa, there's an insight.
After a man of the match origin clash, hobble back to the rooms, shout to the trainer, "Maestro me, buddy!" and listen to the soothing sounds of Bludging on the Blindside.
Now, coming to the, issue du jour apart from obstruction. Now, I've been to the rugby league a lot and I've never noticed this because I don't actually go to look at the trainers. I go to look at the rugby league.
Of course.
But all clubs have 3 trainers wearing different coloured shirts, blue, yellow and orange.
Yep.
So then we get the blue shirt's role is to be a messenger while assisting with interchange and hydration.
Yeah, all right.
A big load.
Yeah.
Then the orange shirt trainer is a medically qualified head trainer and gives orders to the other trainers.
Yep.
The yellow trainer is a medical assistant.
Oh, okay. Yep.
All trainers have different levels of access to the field. The orange trainer must not carry messages.
Good
How would you
luck with
police that? Yeah. What, written on his hand, go quicker? Anyway, messages, but it's permitted unlimited access to attend to injured players while also providing water to players when their side is in possession.
Right.
The yellow trainer can only enter the field of play to help the head trainer assist an injured player from the field to treat an injured player if the head trainer is already occupied. They cannot supply water unless Lord, how would you remember all this?
I know.
Unless a try's been scored. And how often is that policed? I see people being offered water willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Now, a blue shirt duties are limited to interchange, provision of water and carrying messages. They are restricted to carrying messages on only 3 occasions in each half when their team is in possession.
Right.
Who looks after that? Who counts that? Are they self-policing? I mean, this is madness.
I agree with you. Who's keeping their eye on that? There's no bunker.
Who's watching them?
Yeah, I know.
Bloody.
And you can imagine what Bellamy would do with something like that, can't you?
It's a red rag.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask, are we headed for, certainty here? So timeouts? Do you think it's going to get to the timeouts?
We may get to timeouts. Yeah, we may. Look, I do think we need a bit of a crackdown on this trainer situation. But as you point out, it's mainly injury management that the trainer is there for.
I agree,
for first aid on occasions. I remember with our trainer back in the day, Reg Duff, his jobs were coming out with a bottle of water and giving a message, mainly, and assisting the St John's ambulance people if someone was in trouble.
He did have the magic sponge.
Well, of course he had the magic sponge.
And the green whistle.
Yep. But mainly his job was cleaning up after the match, especially the visitors' train, because we didn't extend to them, many comforts in the visitors' changing room. There were no toilet facilities for a start, which made it a bit of a challenge for Reg. Mm-hmm. And this was Reg Duff, who we were talking about last week.
Didn't we get a good response to that? So many memories. I was surprised that so many people had accurate memories of the Duff in action.
Anyway, we just left Reg to it. He just did it quietly. He'd go into
tickets?
He'd just go into the visitors' dressing room at about an hour after the final whistle had blown with a hose.
And a pint of clean.
Hose the place out, and we just left him to it. We didn't help or anything. It wasn't our job. Yeah. And he would collect the used Guernseys and shorts and what have you and socks, and I don't know whether he washed them himself or gave them someone else to wash. No idea. Yeah. They just came back fresh and neat and beautifully pressed next week. Every now and again we thank him, great job, Reg, that sort of stuff. Yeah. And we appreciated the messages he brought out sometimes, although sometimes, Chinese whisper style, as we mentioned last week. But I put Reg down as the reason that the term edge came into the game. I remember Reg came out with a message to keep Workman's Club on edge. And Stomp, the message was given to Stomp, and Stomp said something, he thought he said something like, play workies on the edge. And so I interpreted that to mean,
better get over there.
No, point the attack at their wingers. So,
yes.
So I'd kick to the wingers, and it worked. It worked, but it was quite accidental. It had nothing to do, And so from that moment on, we used to talk about the wingers as edge players. As a result of Reg stuff. Yeah. So I put that introduction of that term, which by osmosis has come through to
go over the league.
Today it's all over the place. Yeah. Everyone's using it.
League,
yeah, everyone's using it. But I put it down to that Chinese whispers message that Stomp got from Reg Duff all those years ago.
Coach from Grenell.
From Grassy, that's right.
Now, look, the NRL, this is fed up about the problem of trainers running willy-nilly onto the paddock.
Well, I don't think anyone likes willy-nilly. We don't need willy-nillyism in rugby league, do we? We don't. We don't.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, they sent a warning out to all clubs that trainers who flout the rules will be banned from games. The Murdoch Press has obtained a copy of the correspondence, and I know it was sent to you, Roy, for your approval, in which the NRL is looking to crack down, I love a crackdown, on trainers' on-field behaviour, including trying to influence referees. I didn't realise this was going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, you tolerated because Cam was an actual player. He wasn't a runner. He wasn't a trainer.
Yeah.
The NRL Football Department emailed its weekly report to all club general managers of football on Thursday afternoon, revealing there would be a zero tolerance of comments or gestures of any type towards match officials by trainers.
Yeah.
See, behaving willy-nilly.
Yeah, behaving willy-nilly. Well, how often do you see, and I've seen it plenty of times these days, a trainer will run out, he might be wearing orange or yellow, doesn't matter, or blue sometimes, with water, and we'll offer the water to the referee. You want to sip while I'm here? We don't need that.
It's demeaning, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Now.
It is. And the referee doesn't want to have to deal with it. He's got his eyes on the game. The game's going on. He's got to keep his eyes on it. Suddenly he's got a bloke in blue there with a bottle of water saying, do you want a sip? No!
Now, trainers who ignore the NRL rules face fines, suspension, or even having their accreditation terminated.
Ooh.
Imagine that, a trainer with accreditation terminated.
Dark old day when you got home that night. Yeah.
The reprimand comes after the Murdoch press revealed on Tuesday that the NRL would use a post-season review to rein in trainers who were running rampant and willy-nilly onto the football field. Now, how many reviews have they got?
Yeah.
They'll be reviewing from the end of October, the start of October, all the way through to kick-off in February next year.
Yep.
Now, according to Thursday's edict, all trainers will be monitored. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're going to have people there with clipboards and...
Yeah, I know.
It's just going to be terrible. To ensure they do not interfere with the general play. The behaviour of trainers has become a contentious issue in rugby league. Wait for it. Fans have demanded their excessive time on the field be dramatically cut back.
Yeah.
Fans?
Fans have had enough. I mean, how often do you see,
sign. Get the trainer off.
Yeah. But how often do you see, you get the blue bloke, the orange bloke, the yellow bloke. They're all out there at the same time.
I know.
You know?
I know.
What is that about? Suddenly you've got 16 on one side, 13 on the other.
And 2 in the
poor
bin.
umpire is trying to deal with the bloke beside him with the water bottle. Suddenly, it's just out of control.
The first month of Froon, Kumquat and Quince Rugby League Nourishment Magic Pack is absolutely free with a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. Get the location of your nearest PCQ nutrition stockist from Bludging on the Blindside.
According to the reports, there will be zero tolerance for comments or gestures of any type towards match officials by trainers. I mean...
Yeah.
Get them on side, ref.
Yes.
Enough.
Yeah.
I'll sip the water, but shut up.
Shut up.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So then trainers entering the field of play will be monitored to ensure they do not interfere with the general play willy-nilly. There will be a greater focus on orange shirt because a medical trainer remaining on the field without treating play... Oh, they're not doing that, are they?
Yes, of course they are. They get out there and they love the limelight, don't they? Don't they? They don't get in the ear of the referee.
Yeah, there's a bit of twerking for the stands and then mincing down the sidelines.
That's
Look
right.
at me, look at me.
That's right. Trying to pull ahead, trying to get on TV.
Exactly, yeah. Running up to the camera.
That's right.
Shaking
Sending
the
a
bot.
message home,
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mum, that sort of stuff. We don't need it.
Now, there'll be greater focus on blue shirt trainers leaving the field immediately after the fourth tackle.
Oh, Lord, who's going to police that?
God almighty, where does this end? All NRL ground managers will conduct pre-game briefings with trainers before both clubs 60 minutes before the kickoff. I mean, what's that going to be? That's going to be a joke session, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you can see that, can't you? 6 trainers standing in a room with someone reading the riot act from a clipboard an hour before kickoff.
Just smirks and
smirks and giggles and
yeah, that's right. Breaches may not only result in financial penalty, but can also result in suspension or cancel accreditation, which is it strongly suggested that all trainers are reissued with a copy of the rules that clearly say. Oh,
yeah. Well, I think they should have a copy of the rules on them at all times. All times. You should be able to stop a trainer any time and say, where's your rule book?
Yeah.
And if you haven't got the rule book on, you get out of here.
Yeah. Now, could you imagine a licensing arrangement where they have a driver's license on them?
Yes, exactly.
And could we have some sort of electronic device which monitored their movements so as that then we could look, the blue trainer's been out there for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Those chips.
Well, maybe we've got to limit the time they're allowed on there.
Well, it's fairly well limited.
How about something like they're allowed on there 2 minutes in the first 15 minutes of the game, 3 minutes in the last 45 minutes of the game, and you work out some sort of, sure, someone's got to police it, but that could be fun for someone.
Now, the NRL is particularly tiring of trainers standing behind the attacking line, waving their arms around, trying to prompt action from the referee.
Yep.
The NRL management said trainers could not harass match officials apart from, obviously, and this is me, adding a bit, apart from offering them water. It's pretty obvious. Yeah. All trainers will be closely observed.
Or a couple of scratch lotto tickets. I've seen that happen. Trainer goes out, gives the ref a couple of bloody scratch lottos and says, good luck. I've seen that.
Or I can sense a bit of obstruction coming up.
Yeah.
Ref.
Yeah, keep your eye on number 9.
Yeah, that's right. 3 minutes to go in the attacking end. Wait for it. It's pretty obvious all trainers will be closely observed for the rest of the season. The advisory is a strong reminder of the trainer's responsibilities. I don't know. I mean, this is, you know,
It's a whole
disturbing.
new industry, isn't it?
It is a whole new industry, a whole new
the
dimension
training
of
industry, yes.
rugby league.
Yeah.
And there's not much upside here, is there?
No.
There's not much, sort of like last night.
Oh, I mean, we're not far away from, Trainer of the Year. People will be giving points, for the players. 3 points, Reid Marnie. 2 points, Daddy Dar. 1 point, trainers' points. Blue trainer from Daddy Dar. 8 points. You can see where this is going, can't you? Trainer of the Year.
So Dally M, Trainer of the Year.
Dally
but
M,
then we've
Blue
got,
Trainer of the Year.
Yeah, thanks.
Dally M, Orange Trainer of the Year. Dally M, Yellow. Whoa, he won the yellow.
The Payne House Art Prize for the best portrait of a player or TikTok effort with rugby league theme is on again. $250,000 is up for grabs in the house. The richest rugby league art prize in the world. Have a crack at the house, bludgers.
Now, a lot of information about the P&G team. Are you a bit disappointed that it's a bit QT, that there's a lot more, I feel as though we've spoken a lot more about the Bears than about the P&G side?
Yeah, that's true.
And that somehow, do you get the feeling that there's sort of some...
Well, because the Bears, there's such heritage.
Yes, that's
Isn't
true.
there?
There's so much to talk about.
Yes.
Don McKinnon.
Yeah, the fig trees.
The
all
fig
of
trees,
that.
What it's going to be like in Perth.
That's right.
Should
Mal
they-
Meninga's involvement now.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
So
would
there's
perhaps Munster going there to be the player
face,
that
yeah.
they build a team around.
And the huge amounts of money that people are going to get paid.
Yes.
Especially the initial.
That's right. And the number of, dormant Bear supporters who are going to be going to live in Perth now.
That's right. 700,000 I've seen.
Well,
numbers.
okay, yeah.
So-
I wouldn't be surprised by that. We did hear earlier numbers of 200,000, but they may well have swelled.
As the messages got out.
Yeah.
Now, the Headhunters have taken another giant step towards making sporting history with an official launch to name our team competition.
Oh, okay.
Now, I think we
they're
may
not
have
going to be
raised this-
Kummels, obviously, and they're not going to be headhunters. What are they going to be?
Well, we don't know.
Right.
People are encouraged to submit their ideas for the name or the team name online.
Good.
They're just suggesting Angels as in fuzzy wuzzy Angels
Yep.
or as chiefs, tribal chiefs sort of things,
Yep.
are front runners. But there's also support for the Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
I think Headhunters, that's good.
yeah.
So this is more than a name. It's a symbol of national pride and reflection of who we are as a nation, the PNG NRL bid executive Andrew Hill says.
Right.
Our team will carry the hopes and dreams of our country onto the world, one of the biggest sporting stages in the world.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah, you forget that because
Yes.
once they get a team...
Once it gets
they'll
to
get-
Vegas.
Yeah, once they get to Vegas. Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And Vegas, what a story that is. Looks like the only source of income will be rugby league soon in Vegas.
Well, it appears to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought the man of feathers is the man who's rescuing Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Because it's a ghost town at the moment.
And everything costs so much, apparently.
That's true.
Now,
That's true. But what a difference that is, HG, when you consider they could be either angels or hunters.
yeah, it's weird.
It's
isn't it?
weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it comes down to the players. Would you prefer to be an angel or a hunter?
Or, can I throw another thing into the mix? We've always been championing the funny nights. Sir Julius Chan maybe started it off all those years ago.
Sir Michael Samari, etc.
Exactly. Yeah, see, straight away, people know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Why not have a left field, sort of a black hat idea, the funny Knights?
Oh, yes.
Who are you playing this week? Oh, we got the Knights. The funny Knights, not the Knights from Newcastle, but the funny Knights.
The funny nights.
But I think it should open up more than Angels and Chiefs. Seems a bit twee to me.
Oh, Chiefs isn't bad.
No, Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs isn't bad. So we've got angels, hunters, or chiefs. Well, we're starting to wrangle anyway, aren't we?
We're pushing towards
Pushing
something.
towards something.
And,
Yeah, something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But surely there's something more, what would I say, attached to Papua New Guinea should be thought of.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now-
well, right.
now-
That's right.
now I'm gonna-
Machetes are very popular, HG, aren't they? You chop 'em is often the call that goes out. In the Highlands when intertribal
Yeah.
stuff goes on. Chop 'em with a machete. So the machetes isn't bad, or the chop-'ems, is it? Certainly put fear into an opposition if you
It
knew.
would, wouldn't it? Well, I better not go and play them. They'll have the machetes.
And Anyway, there's all sorts of possibilities.
That's weird, isn't it? Like Kokodas.
Yes.
Is obviously... Again, I don't want to make it they may not respond to Kokoda in the way
we do. No,
yeah,
they probably don't.
They probably don't. So I'm not suggesting that be forced upon them. But
we don't want to be too Aussie-centric either. I mean, it's up to the people of Papua New Guinea to come up with their own name.
Yeah,
well, we can
will.
make suggestions.
Yeah.
Machetes, choppums, angels, hunters, all good. But they might come with something that has far more...
meaning twain to them. Now, the other thing is Reggae Rugby League.
Reggae Rugby League.
When we first encountered the Papua New Guinean...
Well, they invented that style.
Exactly. Reggae Rugby League. Something about that.
Yeah.
Something to do with, say, I was trying to think of Bob Marley ideas.
Yes. Did he ever go to Papua New Guinea, Bob Marley? I don't know if he did. We don't know. We think not. More's the pity.
Now... That's all ahead of us. But talkback topic, how did you go last week?
Oh, look, last week HG was pretty straight up and down. Should a rugby league centre of excellence be established at Alice Springs as a halfway point for Bears Sydney team fixtures? 87% yes.
And
that's across the board. A lot of interest in this one from Western Australia too. 90% yes from Western Australia.
Isn't that great? Now, look, that's just weird because new teams, because both codes, the NRL and the AFL, are looking for extra teams to be placed somewhere.
Yes.
Seemingly, they don't care now, either teams, about what's there. They just want a television event.
Yeah.
That would be great, Alice Springs for the rugby league.
Yeah, and as we say, fantastic for the economy of Alice Springs.
And then I thought the AFL seemed to have an idea that they're going to have a team now in Canberra.
Are they?
No, they're not definite about it, but they're hoping.
But they're going to be there'd have to be a new stadium, wouldn't there?
There would.
A sort of Macquarie Point in Canberra.
What a great idea. Hope they can get Eric Abetz on board.
Well, Eric knows Canberra, doesn't he? Now, this week's topic, HG, you raised the issue a moment ago. Should Rabs be allowed to call the game from his bedroom? I tell you what, I'd love to hear Rabs call the game again. There are certain things I miss in the general call on Channel 9. Speaking of which, I still miss Thanks Danica, but maybe that'll come back. Who knows?
Rabs will bring that back.
He would bring it back. I miss I Fancy.
I Fancy, yeah, that, yeah.
I miss certain terms that Rabs made his own, like referring to someone as the offender, the guilty party, someone being placed under arrest, the prime suspect.
It's got a theme.
It's got a real theme to it.
Look, he stepped away from the abyss is one of mine.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Yes,
and of
the ball
popped up out of the ground like molten lava.
That's perfect.
Pure Rabs.
Yeah.
And no one does it quite like him in the current. They're all good.
They're all looking great.
Yeah,
but Rabs had that very special quality. And I, for one, would love to hear it again. I would.
That's great.
Aussies, have you thought of having a family day jam-packed with adventure at Rugby League World Auburn? You will find the House of Horseplay sandwiched between Harvey Norman Supercentre and Super 8 Restoration World. Tell the friendly staff you were tipped into the fun by Bludging on the Blindside.
Yes, it's going off every weekend out there at Rugby League World. You don't have to go to the matches to have all the fun of Rugby League. The pies are the same price and the beers are even cheaper. So, if you want to get involved with the show, Bludging on the Blindside, text line 0467 920 222 or the old style way, royandhg at abc.net.au. And the following people, Roy, have.
Yes, just on the text, someone is suggesting... Happy Rugby League, best wishes to Andrew Moore. And there have been a lot of
yes, that's good.
Texts.
Well remembered by Bludging on the Blindside.
Very much so, very much so. They say, you talked about missing Rabs, but I miss Sterlo saying next try is crucial at the 60-minute mark of every single game. That's true. I sort of miss that as well. Because it always is.
I just miss Sterlo.
We wish Sterlo all the best as well. Yes. Now, people are suggesting the Rascals for the New Guinea team.
The Rugby League Rascals.
The Rascals, the Crocs from... I mean, there are plenty of suggestions coming through for the Papua New Guinean team, but I think it's best to leave it to them.
I know. Yeah. I'm just promoting the idea of getting involved with it.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that any of these are doctrinaire.
No, of course not. Now, this email, HG, remarkable. It's come from Reg. It says, Roy, Reg Duff here.
Good.
HG asked if our strongman, Bill Coleman, had a car drive over him, and you said no. That's true. This is last week. Of course he did. You probably didn't see it. Half-time against Oberon at the rec, he means the recreation ground in Lithgow, he lay down and had a door put over his gut, and Terry Shawcross drove his V8 custom line over him twice. He got up then, bowed and hopped off. The crowd loved it. Thanks for the memories of Bill, Reg.
Well, you see...
It's great that Reg is still with us. That's fantastic.
And can I just say, I'm not opposed to that being halftime entertainment.
No.
At the Rugby League Big Dance this year.
Sure.
Because these old skills, custom line, I mean, how many custom lines would be left?
Yeah, not many.
So that'd be a heritage act in itself.
It would.
And a big talking point of how, let's say, somebody connected with the Lithgow people had saved the custom line just on the off chance that it might be used in a NRL grand final.
Well, wouldn't that be remarkable if that same custom line that was used to run over
I'm not suggesting
Bill
that.
Coleman back in the day
could come in 2025
to
the
run
grand
over someone, the new strongman.
Yeah.
I mean, there must be someone out there doing these skills, lying down, having a rock put on them and hit with the hammers and what have you, and then a door put on you and get yourself run over. I mean, you don't see that. You don't. You don't see that anymore. And more's the pity, you're right. I mean, it was a great act. I mean, we took it for granted at the time.
Yeah, I know,
mean, so
that's
much
the thing.
so. I mean, word might have gone through the dressing room, Billy's out there having a car driven over him. But we didn't go and look.
No, of course. It wasn't important enough.
No, we were focused on, the second act, the second half coming up.
I can see a whole thing, Danica talking to Bill. I mean, obviously...
the new Bill Coleman.
The new Bill Coleman, talking to Bill about how it feels. And
well, it was like Bill, I just lay down, and when the door came on, I thought, I'm used to it. And then anyway, the car came along, it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be, actually, Danica. Oh, great. Good on you, Bill.
And could I suggest, and I don't mean to send people hearing off in different directions, that maybe somebody from a school would like to come and be the new Bill Coleman? So representing, say, I don't know, Kembla High School today, bloody blah, down they go, over it goes. So you involving the next generation of, what would we call them, underdoor people?
I suppose.
We're going to get the car driven.
I suppose, yeah.
Because there would be a career path.
Yeah. Well, you'd want a substantial door as well. You couldn't have your modern doors. I mean, I haven't been to Door World lately, but there are a lot of these doors these days that have sort of compressed cardboard.
Oh, no, it's just terrible.
And they're rubbish. I mean, you couldn't put a V8 over those.
Are you expecting a ramp that leads onto the door and leads off the door on the other side?
I hadn't thought of that. No, I assumed the door...
Was the ramp.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it worked with Bill. So the door would... As the car went over, the door would lift and then
go down the other
form a
side.
ramp on the other side of it.
Yeah, right. Fair enough.
I think that's how it works.
Fair enough. But the custom line, there so many talking points.
Custom line, door, strongman.
I only remember the custom line because an uncle who was a penciler for a bookie had one.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful note from the V8 you get from a custom line, don't you? Plenty of grunt. They were the days. Now, this comes from Scott. He says, Scott in Bundaberg, says, Happy Rugby League. When my kids were young, I was so staggered when they didn't recognise Mick Dittman as he walked past us in Rockhampton, I went home and cancelled their sports bet accounts for a fortnight. Schools need to do more.
Fair.
Yeah. I think we might have made reference to people not recognising jockeys. It's true.
Well, remember that story? We didn't quite finish it off, that some of the jockeys are clubbing together to kind of form a...
Super League.
Well done, Super League.
I think there are Frankie Dettori's involved and a few others.
Now, and one of the reasons was that whoever was the proponent of this, and I must go back through the records and correct that glaring, obvious mistake, as that they wanted jockeys to be recognised when they walked down the street.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you think, size is a bit of a giveaway, but now, of course, there's, so many great jockeys of all persuasions, and that it would be a terrific thing if the Super League was able to move, say, from Adelaide to Perth to onto Hong Kong to Singapore to obviously great racing things in Korea now, and then on to Russia, which is the unsung area.
Sure. Sure.
area of racing.
Yeah. I suppose
Racing.
back in the day, people used to go to racing to see the jockeys,
They
see
did.
your great jockeys.
Well, Mick
These
Dittman,
days, people go to look at the horse, don't they?
it's madness. Absolute madness. Yeah. Horse will tell you nothing.
No. Some Andrew from Wynnum West is suggesting the Birds of Paradise.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
That is, isn't it?
That is pretty good.
Yeah, the Birds of Paradise. It lacks grunt, but it's got some other qualities. This comes from, speaking of Wynnum, this comes from Brett from Wynnum. He says, this Sunday, our Lineage Tanzanian Rugby League Association, or the TRLA, takes place as Cowboys' new gun recruit, Tanzanian-born Amali Bitugani, lines up. I think I saw him playing last week. Pretty good player. The 21-year-old Tanzanian-born middle forward, his journey started on the wing just 7 years ago. He debuted with the Townsville Blackhawks in March 2023 and played against the Sunshine Coast Falcons in his Queensland Cup debut. On 24th of October 2023, he was upgraded to an NRL development contract with the Cowboys. In 2024, he moved to the Northern Pride, playing 19 games in round 22 of the 2025 NRL season. He was named to make his NRL debut. And Tanzania has a long history of other football codes such as soccer and rugby union. But is this another frontier that the man of feathers could expand the game and get a foothold in the African market outside of South Africa?
Well, how long have we been prosecuting this, mainly with the Kenyan Mau Mau?
We have.
For ages. We gave that great story from a little while ago where they had to travel across a country that hated rugby league.
That's right.
The team, the International.
They had to be smuggled through enemy lines.
Exactly, to play rugby league. It was a great story and doesn't surprise...
I think they had to play it in the dark as well, didn't they? Just with
I think travel in the dark.
Travel in the dark. Okay.
And so there were less people around.
Sure.
But the other thing is that the Kafusi line is now almost on the continent, on the African continent.
Yep. Once we get into Mongolia,
we're safe. Yeah, because that's what is going on. Obviously, in Alaska at the moment is dividing up the world.
That's right. Along one side of the Kafusi line or the other.
Exactly.
That's
The
what it's
Kafusi
all
line
about.
writ large.
And no one's going to talk about it. I'm telling you. This comes from Jack. He says, in a recent post-match press conference, Manly coach Anthony Seibold commented that a game of footy wasn't that important given that we're all going to die. I missed this press conference.
I didn't realise this. I mean,
that's a bit of
Did the most hated lose that day?
They must have done.
Down in the dumps point of view.
He says, now I'm sure that musings on philosophical existential imperatives have their place. I'm not sure that a post-match press conference is one of them.
Oh, I agree with that entirely.
I agree with that entirely. There's a time and place for that sort of talk.
Because the language is so cut and dried.
It is.
We were out enthused. We left our footy heads in the car park. I mean, it's all there.
Our sets. Yeah. Ball completion
ball security.
Rate, ball security. Yeah. That's what people want to talk about, not these philosophical bloody... I mean, that sort of nonsense.
Comparing life and death with rugby league.
Yeah, grow up. That's what I'd say, Louis. Grow up. Okay, this comes from Chris. Chris is in Mount Dandenong in Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
As a resident of Melbourne, I'm increasingly alarmed that the rugby league community is not fully cognizant of the significant and growing gap in niggle and grub between our two great codes. Take last week's grubbery from the man that may just well be the greatest grub ever to chase a Sherrin, Toby Green.
Yes, no surprises there.
In a single game, he kicked a player in the groin, elbowed the Swan star Isaac Heaney in the back of the head, and fat-shamed the Swans Papley at half-time on live TV.
Yeah.
It was like watching Da Vinci paint the Mona Lisa. And, of course, the GWS stormed back from behind to obliterate the Swans in the second half, the power of the grub writ large for all to see. Green's game was a superlative display of the true grub that attacked 3 of the 4 key grub target areas: groin, skull, mind. Only family was missing. But who knows what else the great man may have snuck in behind the scenes, behind the cameras or under the microphones. My guess is a hell of a lot. Because as we know, a great grub is also a slippery grub. They rarely get truly nailed for their art. Now, compare this performance to the increasingly sorry straight of Grubbery in that funny old game they call rugby league. When was the last time an NRL player sledged an opponent on live TV during the game and got away with it? When was the last time you saw a grub inspire, indeed carry, a team to an unlikely victory? When was the last time you saw or heard an NRL grub cover 2, let alone 3, or potentially 4 of the key elements of grub in a single game?
Yeah. No, I remember that match. It was a couple of weeks ago now.
Yeah, it was. You referred to it, I think.
And the great thing was that one of the incidents of grubbing was because he missed. In other words, I think it was on Dane Rampey.
Oh, yeah.
He went for a kick in the cruets.
Yeah, this is Tobes.
The Tobes. Who else?
Who else?
There's only one. Grub of the year is already a crack box and buried as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
Anyway, he decides he kicked Rampey just to slow him up early on in the game. Yeah. But the tribunal or the MRO couldn't take it any further because the vision didn't show Rampey wincing after the kick to the cruets, and so it was assumed he missed. But intent was there. Yeah, and I hope I've got that right, as in that's what the ruling
But
was.
often a kick in that part of the anatomy, HG, can take a little while before you don't react immediately.
No, I accept that.
It's a slow build, isn't it? You can have a 15, 20-second delay before it hits.
Yeah, and the camera's moved on.
The camera's moved on.
Yeah, I accept that.
Yeah. This comes from Roderick from Putney. Everyone's been carping about Double J's hottest 100 songs, picking the Veronicas Untouched at number 3, as opposed to, say, Ted Mulligang's Jump in My Car, Sherbert's How's That, or Craig McLaughlin's Hey Mona. But that's all small beer because the omission of the great sporting anthems and bangers belted out by Australia's Aussie heroes, that's the real travesty here, particularly when there's so many forgotten classics to choose from. I Only Take What's Mine, Warwick Kappa. I don't really remember it.
I can't whistle that one.
I thank you, Lionel Rose. Well, we know
Lionel Rose, champion boxer.
Yep. Summertime All Round the World, Pam Burridge and the Passions.
Oh, yes. Gee, this is a...
Up There Kazali, Mike Brady.
Yeah.
Well, that's a classic. I'm an Individual, Mark Jacko Jackson.
Yeah, that's great.
That was great.
He was tremendous. Remember, he became part of the Highwaymen.
He did.
Not the musical band, but the TV show.
Yeah.
I know he's still around, still punching above his weight.
Yeah. You're the One for Me, Brett Lee and Asher Bosley.
Remember they had Six and Out. Brett Lee was...
That's right.
Had a band.
He did, Six and Out.
I think their cover version of How's That was great.
It was great. I would add to that, Take It to the Top, that Jason Martin.
Jason Martin, Take It to the Top,
Take It to the Top. So it's true that in the top 100, I don't think any of those great sporting Aussie classics got there. And more's the pity. I
agree with that. But then again, I mean, the source of the hottest 100 is not necessarily known for its sporting interests or enthusiasms.
Well, perhaps they've got to have a sporting top 100.
Yeah, but can I point out the winner, Tear Us Apart? Now, that's the song that Port Power use in every match played at home.
Is that right?
So it's a kind of big leg up.
This is In Excess.
In Excess,
Right. This comes from Michael in West Cork, Ireland.
What?
He says, at the start of each season, a list of approved try celebrations is compiled by the team captain. These are then written on cards, and at the start of each team talk in the sheds, a card is randomly drawn from the stack, giving that week's celebration. That card is then discarded, thus adding to the surprise of what celebration of what will be allowed, and maybe build the anticipation of a particularly borderline or risque celebration. This must go back a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about try celebrations and how some were offensive.
Yes, the
Dale Cherry Evans.
Dale Cherry Evans grabbing the corner post and walking across as though he was elderly and needed support.
That's right.
Now, can I just raise something as well to continue the discussion here? It's been drawn to my attention, and this is very obvious, that try celebrations is one thing, but there's another celebration when a mistake is made. And this is getting on my wick a bit because you've forced the opponent to drop the ball or knock on.
Yep.
It's a mistake on their behalf, not some great genius bit of play of yours.
Yeah.
And it seems to me over-egging it completely. I understand celebrate a try, sure, because that adds to the points. But
Well, I don't know, actually. Often if you put your shoulder in the right spot, you can dislodge the ball.
I accept that.
And when that happens,
it's
then,
worth the
then
celebration.
you celebrate. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
but not
comes
every-
in, taps you on the head, and da-da-da, it's all great while the scrum's being formed.
Or-
I don't mind that so much.
Don't you?
No.
And-
I just think that adds a bit of texture to the game.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah, it does. It does
Can I
have
say it's better? I would trade that for runners running on the field all the time, or the trainers running on the field all the time,
Yeah.
waving their arms and getting the ref's attention.
Sure.
Would you like a drink of water?
Well,
No, I accept that. I accept that.
I think too, the coverage of our trainers isn't great on television. You rarely see them. You only see them really when a player is down getting assistance. But you miss seeing them in the general hubbub and hurly-burly of the match. They're often there waving their hands around, all that sort of stuff, with the water bottle, whispering in the ref's ear, all that sort of stuff.
But-
you miss that.
But the camera people are trained to cut it out.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure.
are. Obviously.
We don't want to see this. So-
Yes, yeah, that's got to come from up top. And more's the pity, because I think people would love to see more of the trainers' work. This comes from Mick in Ballarat. I work for a local builder, and I'm concerned with repeated stories of footballers finding love in toilets. Well, we haven't heard much of that for a while now, have we?
No, now that Sneesby's moved
Sneesby's
offshore,
moved on, yeah.
he's taking those ideas with him.
Sure. Does the construction industry need to revisit the Australian building standards to account for the additional loading on the toilet fixtures and fittings from these trysts? These fit Australians would surely introduce loadings that have not been included in the calculations for the standard fixing details for basins, pans, baby change tables and the like. Should suppliers such as Caroma or Dorf be required to provide a sticker and certification to builders that their plumbing fixtures have been NRL AFL approved? Additionally, is there an opportunity for players to seek sponsorship deals with plumbing suppliers to give their support to certain brands? It's not a bad idea.
No, it adds a dimension to
It does.
the world of plumbing.
It would give you reassurance.
Reassurance, thanks very much. Yes,
If you
indeed.
are part of the rugby league community, you often have players around,
At your place.
socially.
Yeah, socially.
Well, you know
your
what's
place.
going to happen. Players fall in love at the drop of a hat. We know
Because they're so fit.
Because they're so fit, and they're just open to love.
Yeah.
They are.
They're more than the normal
More
community.
than the normal.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The rest of us are a bit
Indeed.
stitched up, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's right. Different mores that people live by. Rugby league mores are slightly different. We understand that. We appreciate it. We make allowances. Well, I suggest the building industry should make an allowance as well and make sure, if they have got installed appliances that are rugby league compliant, there should be a sticker that tells you that.
And are you sort of thinking of something, just a single word, shaggable,
Yeah.
sort of something like that,
Yeah. Or just
shag rating 0 to 10? And,
just a sticker with NRL tick.
oh, okay.
That's all you need.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I agree. That's what
Gets
you
the
need.
message
Yeah.
through. This comes from Art. The service popped up on my social media this week, showing an example of Aussie ingenuity and skill in procuring, processing and distributing game meats. In this case, wild Australian boar. I think in South Australia you can get wild Australian boar on the table at restaurants. Looking at the details of the company, they advise that they are based in South Australia. Thanks to your excellent knowledge of the rugby league pigging community, both north and south of the Tweed, can you shed a light on the great South Australian piggers who might hunt for this great Australian company, and whether there is any as big a scene as, say, Manly in the 1980s, led by Crusher Cleal?
Now, what an excellent question.
It is.
And we're a bit short on
On the details
pig and
here.
SA pigging info. But can I
Yep.
just ask, are these, how do I put this, free range, as in they're feral pigs?
Yes.
That are being shot and eaten?
I understand that's the case, yes.
They're not a brand of pig that you can buy.
that are the bred purposely for the plate. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think these have been bagged out in the wild because they have that special flavour,
That
special
saltbush.
taste. Yeah.
That dry.
That dry.
arid, yeah.
That's right. Very
Yeah.
gamey.
Seasoned on the hoof.
Yeah. Seasoned on the hoof. Yeah. Yeah. And if you let it go off just a little bit in the sun, gets that real game. Juicy. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting. And have they got, how do I put this? Have they got like, I'm trying to think of food halls, which if you went to, I'm not sure if they have a David Jones.
Well, let's say the
there.
South Australian markets.
Yeah, South Australian markets, the
If you
Adelaide
went
markets.
to Adelaide markets, they're wonderful.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, you can get just about anything. You can get your Nippy's orange juice there. You get all sorts of stuff. South Australian.
Yeah, tell you what, you can get great whiting there.
Yeah,
Great
you
flathead.
do. Oh, and I mean, it's worth the trip.
It is.
I mean, it's worth the long drive. Say, from Rockhampton to
Adelaide for the whiting.
Just for the whiting. But as for the boar, I don't know if you can get it there or not. Wild boar, caught on the hoof.
In the world of meats, is there a sort of like a process isn't quite right. Is there ways of treating it, like smoking it, or?
Oh yeah.
Or do you just get chops, or what?
Yeah, sun-dried. Sun-dried boar. Very gamey.
Fair enough.
But I don't know where you can get it, actually. I don't know. They'd be illegal. I mean, on the dark web, there'd be heaps of places you could get it.
Are you thinking that the rules in South Australia are more relaxed when it comes to eating pigs?
They must be.
Shot out in the wild,
Yeah.
as opposed to, say, in Victoria or New South Wales?
Yeah. Well, I don't know
tons
what
of
the
pigs.
situation here in New South Wales. I mean,
Can you sell shot pigs?
Yeah, if you went out to Warrialda and bagged, say, 20 or 30 boar, put him in the back of a refrigerated truck,
Brought him back
came
into
into the
town.
Sydney markets, or set yourself up, say, any markets, any
Yeah,
local
alongside
markets.
the fish market, say, and
Yes.
yeah, down there.
Yeah,
just with
just
the back of the
the
truck.
back of a truck. Here we are, fresh. Just killed this yesterday. Here they are. Anyone interested?
Come and get it.
I don't know if that's legal or not.
Fair enough. Neither do I.
No, this comes from Tom. Tom in Brisbane. He says, has the starting 13 for Manly's most loathed yet been finalised?
Wow.
And have the players and coaching staff been advised of their selection? While spots are no doubt competitive, I'd like to put forward Arco as coach, Bozo to run the water, and can think of no better centre pairing than Choppy Close and the Datsun 180B man.
There's a start.
There is a start, isn't it?
There is a start.
Yeah.
Dale Shearer,
Dale
of course,
Shearer.
the 180B man, and Choppy Close,
Choppy Close was
great
a
Queensland
Queensland
player.
centre,
Yeah,
yes.
great Queensland player.
Yeah, well, he might have teamed up with Big Gene Miles.
Now,
And remember, it was Choppy Close's address in the 96 State of Origin series that Fatty
still-
Vorton, that they still talk about.
Yeah, they still...
It still brings them to tears.
Exactly,
Billy Moore,
exactly.
you've only got to mention Choppy Close. It's in tears.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, look, I thank all correspondents.
And that is a great topic that we must address, the most loathed team.
I think we started it, didn't we?
I
Or
think
did we mention it?
Mention it, I think, is what we never...
There's been nothing formal done about it yet.
No, we haven't been to the committee stage.
Yeah, but we thank Tom because he's made a bit of a start.
It made a very good start,
Yeah.
and that the selection committee will be sitting between now and the end of the year.
Yes.
And one thing for sure and certain is all members of the most loathed will be getting a Rolex watch.
Well, some of them have got it already.
Oh, no, of course, yeah. We'll just correct
And
those.
can I point out, just because we're talking about it, if you could just reach into your wallet,
Yeah, but
because the stocks are a little bit low.
We're still trying to get everybody...
We still need to find another, I think it was 137 when I last looked. We need still under 137 Rolex watches to give out.
I'd love to get to under 100 by the start
end
of the
of the year,
finals.
yeah.
By the end of the year. Yeah,
Let's
okay.
be realistic.
Yeah, that's right.
So all contributions are very, very well appreciated by the former Manly players and, of course, all Bludge listeners.
Australians, rugby league crime is at pandemic proportions. Referees and officials can't see everything, but together we can. If you see rugby league crime, then as an Australian, do your duty and report it to Bludging on the Blindside. Text us on 0467 920 222.
Just on the text here,
Yes,
SG. Now, six and out are still a thing. I was up
great.
in Lauritown, just south of Port Macquarie, and six and out were headlining a few days after I was there. $52 a ticket. See the photo attached. There they are, 6 and out. So they're still going.
And are there still cricket? Do you have to be a cricketer to be in it?
Oh, I can't help you
No,
there.
that's right. Just an idle question, really. In the old days, as soon as you say their names, I think, maybe they were cricket players, New South Wales players.
Right. That might be the case. Yeah.
Because it'd be a nice touch if it was.
It was, yeah.
Because you assume they're sitting around in the dressing room waiting to go out to bat, so they might as well play the guitar.
Fiddle about a bit, yeah.
Fiddle about a bit. Now, look, this is a very sad story, and I don't know how to really approach it apart from to say that the 117-year-old feud between South Sydney and Sydney Roosters has exploded again after the Rabbitohs demanded the removal of the arch rivals from a local high school.
All right.
It comes weeks after South's bid to move their home games from Accor Stadium to Allianz was shut down by Venues New South Wales after strong opposition from current tenants, the Roosters.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think we covered that in this.
We did.
We actually don't see any reason why they shouldn't play there because in the early days, in the old days, we had to force South Sydney residents onto trains to get them out to Accor.
We did. Didn't we suggest maybe at Redfern Oval the stadium could be built cantilevered over the suburb?
Told 100,000 people. Yes, that's right. No, I agreed. The trouble is that's a lovely park and, that's
true. Yeah.
But cantilevering may help. It appears Souths are now upping the ante in a feud after submitting a formal application to New South Wales Rugby League to have Roosters removed from the Matraville Sports High School. Right. The Roosters have used the Chifley-based school for almost 15 years as a training base for junior representative teams. Now, where do you stand on this? See, in the old days, it was all rugby league shoulders to the wheel, as in, especially with reading and writing and maths and so on, the rugby league players would come, there would be sessions and a recess, out would come the students and away they went, then tweet, back into classrooms,
Well, there was an established rugby league curriculum.
There was, thanks. That's what I'm looking for, yes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter who turned up.
No.
You could have people
You knew
from
you were it was the same Bible from which all the instructions were coming.
Now, remember, of course, we championed the idea of out the front of each school, especially the high schools.
An honour board.
An honour board listing the players who have come through this.
Yeah.
Well, and let's not forget they're often well tutored by rugby league people, these players. So no wonder they're playing in the highest grade. So I'm not sure.
Look, it's sad when this sort of thing spills over into schools. I don't like it. But the thing is, where there's a vacuum, another team will exploit it, and you can't blame them. Now, if at Matraville, Souths have not sent players, reached out, got involved with the school, then Easts are going to do it.
Exactly.
Because every school is being approached by rugby league clubs all around the place.
Can we get involved?
Yes, and teachers, who do a wonderful job,
Yeah.
Often reach out. And if you've got a teacher who's an Eels fan, often he or she is going to invite Eels players and you can't blame them.
No. And the players often come back, say, with a couple of copies of Harry McCleary or something like that, Lindley Dodd book, great book for kids to start with.
Sure.
It's often got flaps in it, which they reach up and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No problem there.
Yep.
Won't take them long to learn it, and then they can turn the pages themselves and really have a good time.
Yeah.
The trouble is that this has got nothing to do with any of that. This has got to do with with Souths, from my point of view, the Rabbits being bits of dicks and pushing Roosters off something that the Roosters have done for 15 years by the sounds.
Yes.
Now, I don't get it, because is that going to be a chapter in the Book of Feuds?
Well, it looks like it's
the
going to be.
The day we took Matraville High back?
Yeah. Well, it's very sad when it comes to this, because, kids, when they're very, very young, don't understand the tribal disputes and how important these things are. All they know is they love rugby league. And they want to learn more about rugby league.
Yeah. They're disappointed when their team loses.
Yes, of course they are.
They don't lose heart about the game.
No, they don't.
And even those who might be supporting the Titans, who aren't winning much, they hang in there because they love Des.
That's right.
Or I think they love Big Tino.
Yeah, Big Tino. That's right. And you'd imagine at Matraville High, if Big Tino arrived,
they'd love him.
It'd be great.
I know, they'd all know who he was and who he played for.
Hey, Big Tino!
Read my Lindley Dodd.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't care who you come from, what club you're associated with. They just know you're rugby league, and that's all they want.
Yeah.
So I think it's very small-minded on behalf of Souths to take umbrage of Easts filling the gap or the vacuum that Souths have left.
And can I point
it's up to Souths to reach out and establish some sort of relationship with Matraville High.
Yes. No,
and
I
not
agree.
just assume because Matraville High is within, their suburb, it should naturally be associated with South. It doesn't work that way.
No. Can I ask, do you think that's a back-page story?
Well,
Do you know what I mean? In the Fairfax paper? I know
if it's a slow news week, that's when you can run a story like that. Is that what you mean, HG? I think it's a big story for the kids at Matraville who may be scratching their heads and being a little bit confused. Well, why are we in trouble just because we had Easts some players come, and they've been coming for ages and we love them. We support Souths, but we love these East players because they've come and spent time with us.
Yeah. And they let us, read our books and they understand, numbers. And
they do.
We've learned a lot about reading number plates.
Yes. Yeah.
From them.
Yeah.
Look, it just seems to me to be a...
Can I just call for calm here?
Thanks.
I think that's what we need,
I think that's what I'm asking.
Yes, a call for calm.
Bludge listeners are all too aware that the Manly Rugby League club is the most loathed in the NRL. The Bludge has declared 2025 to be the year of healing. We are asking all listeners to assist in this cause by making a weekly contribution to a fund that will provide a diamond-encrusted gold Rolex watch to all current and former Manly players as a sign of peace. Thank you, Blindsiders. The Help Manly Heal app can be accessed through the ABC Sports app or the ABC Listen app. This is Bludging on the Blindside.
Roy, any more interaction with the vast listening public to ABC Radio Spot?
Dr. Greg's been in touch. She says, I shot a pig on my joint some years ago. Couldn't interest any butchers in it, even properly hung and dressed. A mate's dog got it all.
Oh, it's a very disappointing story.
Isn't it? Why didn't Dr. Greg cut off a bit and have it himself?
Yeah, cooking it, you see, is it something you eat medium rare or is it something you eat well cooked?
Experimentation would be
and of course,
your friend there.
I always think of bacon, you see, which is a processed part of the pig.
It is. It is.
So just looking for ideas, really.
Someone is suggesting Watmo for the second row of Manly's most hated.
Oh,
I think Watmo could slot in there easily enough. Sure.
If there's no other bids.
Yeah.
Well. Now, look, can I just raise something here? We mentioned the problem of greyhound racing in Tasmania. Well, this is a good news story for greyhound. New South Wales Greyhound Racing will raise $10,000 for Australia's farming community with the launch of the inaugural Flano for a Farmer campaign. Now, that's meant to get underway yesterday, must have been. Now, the initiative has Greyhound Racing donating $200 for every even-boxed winner across Friday's 45 races at Wagga, Goulburn, Richmond and the Gardens, while the race club that has staged the meeting would donate $200 for every odd-boxed winner.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter who wins.
No.
Farmers win.
Farmers win. Good.
The move guaranteed a donation of $9,000 to Farm Angels, which provides care packs, financial aid, mental health support to farmers in need across Australia. An added benefit from the Greyhound Racing New South Wales has been a pledge to donate $10,000 to the important charity regardless of Friday's results across the 4 race meetings. Our farmers feed and clothe the country, said Greyhound Chief Executive. They endure some of the harshest working conditions imaginable, and while they are resilient, they shouldn't have to shoulder all those challenges without support. Every 10 days we lose an Australian farmer, and that's heartbreaking reality we can't ignore. By joining the Flano for a Farmer campaign, we're sending a message the greyhound racing community values and supports our rural heartland, and we encourage everyone to get behind the cause.
Good.
the Greyhound New South Wales has decided to bring up Friday's tally to 10,000, but we shouldn't stop there for this vital clause, blah.
Yeah.
Now, what a great idea.
Isn't that a wonderful idea?
People,
the dog community reaching out.
The dog community is doing something reaching out.
Yeah, that's wonderful news.
I'm just wondering if that could be something that the Tasmanian golfing community could take to the government and say, well, look, we're doing this sort of work elsewhere. We're prepared to do it on the Apple Isle.
Yeah.
And, take it forward as something.
And that would be a way of garnering more community support.
And I tell you who'd be worth lobbying.
What's sad is it would seem that community support for dog racing is falling away in Tasmania. I don't know why. Well, it must be... Well, the dog industry needs good PR.
Well, can I say the best sort of PR would be to reach out to Erica Betts.
Yes.
Because he's got that job at Macquarie Point. Why did I say Victory Point?
I don't know where Eric stands on the question of dog racing. I've no idea.
Yeah, but look, you don't go to him and say just willy-nilly,
No.
Are you interested or not in dog racing? You go to him with an idea. Look, this is an idea. We're using the dog racing to raise money for farmers, Tasmanian farmers, Eric. You've got them in your hip pocket.
Yeah.
Tasmanian farmers need help. They're doing it tough, Eric. Yeah. You've got that cushy job there, Macquarie Point. You'll be living in clover for the next 20 years because it'll take you 20 years to finish it. Now think about the farmers and et cetera. You know where it goes to from there.
That's not a bad approach. That's not bad. I've had extensive discussions, certainly with the Minns government, about the idea of each school being given a dog to maintain, care for, train, and put into race. Yeah.
And do you think that the idea would be to involve the dog in, say, an event where schools race their dogs off against each other and raise money for farmers?
Well, that's not bad.
It's got that extra twang.
There'd be a couple of legal issues. I think it would be a lovely idea for schools to have, inter-school dog racing, et cetera, every
like they would play each other at rugby league.
Yes.
Why not dog racing?
Exactly. Every Thursday afternoon for sport or what have you. And why not be able to get a little bit of betting happening within the schools?
Well, I'm not suggesting the schools take that on. I think that betting has to be official, like the TAB has to be involved. You can't go off willy-nilly like trainers all over a rugby league. They just got to be organised.
Yeah.
But you would know the dog, the form, the races, etc.
Yep.
All valuable education for kids.
Sure.
And then you'd have four corners sniffing and all that sort of stuff.
Well, but let's put that to one side at the moment. We don't need four corners getting involved at this stage. I mean, that's the last thing the dog industry needs. What I'm suggesting, actually, is that if you were to teach punting, bookmaking, etc., in schools, which I think should happen, I'm quite sanguine, quite relaxed about teachers overseeing young kids who are interested in bookmaking, establishing, the odds on a field, taking some bets and seeing how they go.
No, well, obviously, who wouldn't? That would be a very educational process.
Well, it would.
But
it would.
Imagine the house you're going to get, the howls of complaint you're going to get.
Of course there will be.
Yeah.
Of course there will be.
And as you point out, sniffing on the door, knock, knock. Who's that four corners? Can we come in and do something?
Yeah,
you don't want that.
I know.
Because people get nervous.
Yes.
Now, I myself am not so concerned by that because
you're less sanguine about the bookmaking aspect.
I am less. I'm not saying that. I just need time to think about it.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Which is fair enough.
I may come round.
Yes.
You never know.
Yeah, well, that's where the Minns government is at the moment. They're exactly as you are. They said to me, look, we hear you, Roy. We hear you. We've just got to think about it. And so that's where we left it.
The Rugby League lotto numbers for this week are 1, 6, 13 and 12. Supplementaries are 7 and 3. This is Bludging on the Blindside.
Now, very sad news this week is Sean Lane, a real journeyman rugby league player, finished up his career with Parramatta this week. Mm-hmm. For 18 months, Lane had been grappling with the dilemma of when to walk away from footballing career that had been his lifelong dream.
Yep.
The Parramatta forward, who's working towards a master's degree in positive psychology, knew the time was coming to when he would have to make a bigger contribution off the field than on it. The seminal moment occurred in the most unlikely places. The Eels were belted 50-12 in Darwin in round 6 by Canberra.
Oh, I remember that, yes.
I mean,
that was a real toweling, yeah.
You remember that.
Very hot circumstances, humid,
said, By his own admission, Lane had a shocker, a personal and team performance that may have previously led to despondency. While disappointed by the result, it gave him clarity he was seeking. I hated playing in Darwin every year because I'm a big bloke, 100% humidity, 30 degrees heat. I knew that my game was going to test my motivation and physical abilities. After that, I was like, I'm done. I don't think I've got it in me anymore. Although I didn't enjoy playing in Darwin, I'm thankful for Darwin for opening my eyes up and showing me there's a door. Hey, isn't that incredible?
Isn't that great?
Who would have thought that? He went up there and had a horrible time.
But found a door in Darwin.
There's a song in that.
There's a song in that, isn't it? Must talk to Paul Kelly.
Although I had I played bad and the team was beaten by a fair margin, I wasn't really upset. I was kind of understanding that this was the end, and I knew that it was going to be the right thing for me in the club. It wasn't a bad moment. It was like, okay, this is where we're at. Now, there's the lyric there, right there for Paul.
It's okay, this is where we're at.
So there was 186 games he played. He played for the Bulldogs, Warriors and Sea Eagles and the Eels. So, that's
a real journeyman, yeah.
Yeah. In his pomp during Parramatta's run to the grand final, he and Dylan Brown were such a formidable combination. I'm pretty happy with how it all worked out. As a kid, you'd dream of being able to play just one game of NRL. I managed almost 200.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way to look at it.
Now, he's already armed with a Bachelor of Science, Health degrees, a graduate diploma in psychology. He and his brother Bet have opened Pro-Era Performance.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A firm that focuses on psychological and physical well-being of athletes.
Good.
The 30-year-old remains involved in Eels mentoring elite pathways and the NRLW athletes in all areas of mental skills and wellness. So
that's great.
It's a growth area.
What a great story that is. And he specialises in what? Positive psychology, you said, HG.
I think that pro-era performance...
I like positive psychology.
Positive, diploma in psychology. It doesn't say particularly positive psychology, but I'm sure that's part of it.
Right.
You know, you can win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, now they go out there and do it.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've got to reconcile when you do lose, but you told me I could win, you know, and that's where the
tension comes.
The tension comes.
And that's where can I use a word I don't like using? That's where the learnings come.
I suppose that's where the learning does come, yes. And I often say the learning is a door to opportunity.
And Darwin's got a door
got a door to opportunity.
Look, can I just also say that, his great example there to players who might be thinking of retiring this year, because let's face it, the end of the season isn't far away and your team's run shithouse again. But, you know, as a 30-year-old, other things are calling. You know, other things are stepping in the road, doing something for the next generation.
That's right.
Younger players coming through need your help and stuff like that. It is not the end of the road.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not. And psychology is so important these days, HG, isn't it? I mean, there's a whole new, it's a whole new school of thought when it comes to sport. All sports, not only rugby league, but all sports now. Trainers and psychologists. You know, you build up a team. You're going to have your trainer, of course, but you're also going to have your team and your personal psychologist.
And I noticed that, I think I'm right in saying that Balmain Tigers use a firm called the Mind Room.
Oh, yes. The mind
I haven't got that information at hand. But
well, I think they deal more with, it's related to what we were talking about, more to do with issues of self-esteem and identity, anxiety, what I call generally, back in the day, we used to call down in the dumpsism. You know, when players get moments where they're down in the dumps.
Yeah, it's all beyond me.
It's beyond me. It's all too hard. Can't find the door to opportunity. You've got to point to them, get into their minds and show them, give them what I used to call the mind torch to find the doorknob to the door of opportunity.
What a great point to end the show for this week. That's such great advice. The mind torch and the door of opportunity. Well, look, it's been another
It's just glib to say that, but there's more to it than that.
No, obviously there's more to it.
I'm just trying to sum up.
There's more to it than just
Yeah.
want to play rugby league
That's
and want
right.
to just play one game.
Yeah.
Well, Sean Lane played 186.
186. You can't take that away from him.
No, he's got that.
I mean, he's got the mind torch, hasn't he?
He has. He must have because he's been there all these. I mean, add it up.
How many doors of opportunities he found? 186 bloody doors of opportunity. That's what he's found, and he wasn't expecting to find one until he found his mind torch.
Yeah, and then off he went.
Yeah.
And you forget that if he paid 20 a year or 25 a year, it's a hell of a lot of years that he's been playing.
Hell of a lot of years. That's right.
I can't do the maths quickly.
No, but it's a lot.
A lot. Now, that's it for Bludging on the Blindside for this week. We'll be back with more of the same time next week. Enjoy the rest of the day here on ABC Radio Sport. Bye now.
You've been listening to an ABC podcast. Discover more great ABC podcasts, live radio, and exclusives on the ABC Listen app.